Hi, my name is Sean Wright. I'm a Pittsburgh tax lawyer. I wanted to talk a little bit today about bankruptcy and how it can help someone who has back tax problems with the IRS. Now, I recently had a person call me. It was out of the blue. She had become served with a notice from the IRS. They were garnishing her wages at work. She had income taxes that she owed from a few years back. I met with her. She wanted to, try to arrange, to try to resolve her problem as soon as possible. She was very anxious, very nervous, scared about, how she was going to support her family with this wage garnishment. So I told her there's a chance that we may be able to file a bankruptcy case and wipe out her income taxes, the IRS taxes, with the bankruptcy filing. But I would have to get her records from the IRS first in order to see if she was a good candidate. So I did meet, I got the IRS transcripts the next day. I ordered them, I was able to look at them, and the key thing was this. Her taxes, the taxes that she owed, were more than 3 full years old. In other words, she could not wipe out taxes that were incurred in the previous 3 years. They have to be at least more than 3 full years old. So they were income taxes. You cannot wipe out payroll tax with a bankruptcy filing. Only income tax is dischargeable. So that was the second thing. So what was income tax? The second thing, they were more than 3 years old. Another key issue is that the tax returns have to have been filed in a timely manner. It's okay if you got an extension, but if you never filed your returns, you cannot wipe out the taxes for that tax year. She had filed her returns on time, and the IRS had reviewed her returns and had assessed the tax, meaning they had agreed with her numbers. So those were the 4 criteria that she met. They were all income taxes, and she owed about $35,000, by the way, so it was a considerable amount. It was for income tax. The taxes were for more than 3 years in the past. She had filed her returns on time, and fourth, the IRS had agreed with her returns. They had assessed them a long time ago. So we were able to file the bankruptcy within a day or two of her being served with the wage garnishment. So it not only wiped out $35,000 of IRS tax, she had a repossession, she had some credit card debts, those totaled about $20,000. So in all, she was able to wipe out about $55,000 worth of debt. And the effect that it had on her credit rating was also what other people might find kind of remarkable. I don't. I'm not surprised by this, but her before and after credit rating was actually pretty good for her credit scores went up from the low 500s to right about 600 because what happens is that the bankruptcy wiped out all of her credit card bills and the repossession off of her credit report, so she essentially had a clean credit report after the bankruptcy filing. In all, she had a Chapter 7 case. She qualified for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It took about 4 months from start to finish, but as soon as the bankruptcy was filed, the IRS withdrew its wage garnishment, so that was stopped. So she was able to provide for her family during this whole time and get rid of about $55,000 worth of debt. Not a lot of people are eligible to wipe out IRS tax debt simply because they haven't filed their returns on time and the taxes aren't old enough. But on the other hand, if it can work, it's an ideal solution. So that's basically how bankruptcy works in order to discharge and wipe out IRS tax debt. It also can wipe out state tax debt as well, as long as those 4 criteria are met. If you have any questions, call me, 412-920-6565, Sean Wright, or look me up on the internet. More than happy to look at your case and help you out with your back taxes.